I will invite at the podium Mrs. Emma Skov Christiansen. She's lead of Shipping Emissions and Ocean Agenda of World Economic Forum. Dear Emma, the floor is yours, and thank you very much for being in Greece.
Hello, everyone. I should have a slideshow up here. That was my next one. So my name is Emma. I come from the World Economic Forum. I'm originally Danish, but I have my office in Geneva, where our headquarters is placed. It's been a true pleasure following the conversations here all morning. I have learned a lot. I personally have a background in energy, and I see very many synergies to the shipping work that I'm now leading for the World Economic Forum, and have learned a great deal and hope to be in contact with a lot of you afterwards as well. I don't know how many of you know about the World Economic Forum. Some of you might know about the annual meeting that we have in Davos every year. The next will be the 50th. We also have summits around the world where we look at more regional agendas, and this is on various topics. So today I would like to give you a bit of an introduction of what the World Economic Forum is, what our methodology is, and how we work. And then I'll give you an example of how this relates to some of the work we're doing on shipping, which, to be very honest, isn't a whole lot, but hopefully will be a lot more in the future. So the World Economic Forum, I'm going to move a little bit so I can see my slide, is the international organization for public and private partnerships. We have one mission statement, it was in my logo to start with, and that is to create impact in this world. And how do we do that on a global scale? But more importantly, why do we do that? Why do we think there's a need for a pre-competitive space to bring public and private as well as civil society together? Well, that is simply because we don't think that these issues, the economic, technologically, environmental, social challenges of an increasingly complex, interdependent and fast transforming world can be addressed in silos. We believe that there's a need to work, collaborate and cooperate together to solve the Paris Agreement, to live up to the SDGs. So that's more broadly to the different initiatives that we have. It's often what we spend our time on our different summits talking about. So when I say we do a lot of different things, it took myself quite a while to understand what the forum does. Here's a slide of the 18 different platforms that we have. And we do call them platforms because we do work very much across platforms with our external stakeholders, policymakers, businesses, civil society, etc., to identify synergies where best practices can be leveraged. And one thing is in the shipping industry where there are many best practices when we talk about the hard-to-abate sectors that can also be used, duplicated, and inspire other sectors that are far behind and that are looking to make the same transformation as your industry. It's the industry I'm coming from in energy, very much has had some of the problems and issues and challenges that were alluded to earlier on when it comes to digitalization, cybersecurity, etc. So how do we leverage these best practices and how do we share them? That's one of the roles that we believe that we can play by providing a neutral platform and bringing the right people, the right leaders, and the right decision makers together to have these conversations. Just have to unlock my phone because I didn't bring paper. I have my notes here. So a little bit of a slide of the different communities we also have. And Danae is a young global leader of the World Economic Forum. When we say communities, these are, again, multi-stakeholder, and it comes back to the effect of wanting to look and believe to change the world through a systemic lens. So on your right side, a few different communities. All of these communities are concerned with the different topics that you saw on my slide before. Shipping wasn't mentioned as a standalone. This is because we categorize it under mobility. But, you know, we have to boil it down to different sectors. So I have a little video I would like to give, and there's some sound on it, so I hope that works. But I'd like to give an example of what are these multi-stakeholders, public-private initiatives that we do run with other organizations. This is the Getting to Zero Coalition. It's a short 1-minute video introduction of the Getting to Zero Coalition. I'll go a little bit more into depth on it afterwards. Basically, this was announced in New York at the UNSG's Climate Summit in September, and it's still very much a coalition of work in progress. But I hope it starts now.
Imagine a future where large ocean-going ships are carbon neutral and powered by zero-emission fuels, where international shipping's decarbonisation catalyses the broader energy transition, drives substantial investment in clean energy projects in developing countries, and inspires other hard-to-abate sectors to work together to accelerate the decarbonisation of their industries. This is the Getting to Zero Coalition's moonshot ambition, and we strive to make it a reality by 2030. The Getting to Zero Coalition represents senior leaders within the maritime, energy, infrastructure, and finance sectors, and is supported by decision makers from government and IGOs. We invite our peers from around the world who share our strong ambition to join us in a race to the top to serve global trade in a sustainable manner.
So that was a short introduction to the coalition. You're all invited. Small, medium, large companies. As you see, we're looking to work across the full value chain in order to achieve the targets that are set out by the IMO for 2050. Currently, we have 120 coalition members. It is free to join us in this coalition if you wish to listen in, learn more, or be part of shaping the future agenda. We would love to learn from you. We would love to hear from you. We have the banking sector represented, the energy sector represented, of course the shipping industry, and various politicians. You see here a list of the supporting governments. Again, work in progress, and hopefully my email will be up there in a bit, so make sure to write it down if you're interested in knowing more. I'm happy to answer questions. I'll leave our ambition up there. I think some of you might already know about the Getting to Zero Coalition, but basically what we are looking to do from now till 2030 is to ensure zero-emission vessels on the waters so that we can ensure that we're scaling by 2050. Just to give you a deeper look into how the coalition is organizing itself, and this is very new. This was just launched on Wednesday. These are the different work streams, topic areas that the coalition will be looking at over the next 18 months, 12 to 18 months. So keep an eye out for deliverables. Come to me if you'd like to contribute. It'd be highly appreciated. And there we go. And I see I have almost a minute left. That's my information. I would be happy to hear from anyone who would like to be part of the coalition, but also who would like to talk about cybersecurity in the shipping industry, also about digitalization. The World Economic Forum is building out our initiatives, and if you have an initiative that you think that we should platform and shed light upon, let me know. We would love to be your platform to showcase the best practices and the best examples so other industries, but also your competitors, can learn from you. Thank you very much.
This is World Economic Forum is also organizing Global Maritime Forum, and when I asked them, because I feel privileged to be the only young global leader in World Economic Forum that is in shipping. So when I realized this, and I realized that in World Economic Forum, that all the funds, banks, governments are meeting and discussing, not only in Davos. World Economic Forum is not only Davos, it's meetings every month all over the world. And when I realized that they don't have the ship owners, the people who are running 90% of the worldwide trade, I said that we have to work on this. So, Emma, thank you very, very much for being with us, because I believe that World Economic Forum is open to discuss, and it's very important to continue this, not in Davos, Xiradaki, you will not go to Davos. No. Here, in Athens. Slowly, no, you cannot become a member easily. But what I mean is, yes, this is why Emma is here. World Economic Forum was also in Greece last week, and we had discussions. So Emma is here, and sooner or later, sooner I can say, we will also arrange a small, a closed round table in order to discuss how we can bring the message outside to shipping community, how shipping community can cooperate with World Economic Forum. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and looking forward not only to Davos, but to World Economic Forum cooperation with the shipping community.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, you want this?
This is from here, just a photo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Emma. Thank you. Thank you so much.